please. Thank you. It's good to have everyone here. So while we're dropping the emojis, I would just like us to pay a little bit of attention while I give a brief profile, of our moderator today. So our moderator today is Michael Alassa. I hope I pronounced your surname properly.
Right.
In case I murdered it, my apologies. Michael is a senior HR professional, career management consultant, and with quality years, profound multi-sector experience, cutting across various industries, aviation, automobile, banking, oil and gas, fintech, transport and logistics. Michael is a deep thinker, strategic partner, an amazing project manager, who passionately develops innovative approaches to successfully manage human resources, business development, and problem solving. He has developed participative management style in various fast-paced, diverse workspace. Michael is passionate about human capital development as a strategic tool for achieving organizational success and has been engaged on various postings. He volunteers and he has done quite a number of things, being head of human resources, the senior HR VP, managing partner, and his experience profile has demonstrated competence in driving employee experience, client business management strategy, process improvement, performance management, and transformation change. He's currently privileged to serve as the chairman, Corporate Commission Ethics for AHLP. He has previously served as a vice chairman, Corporate Commissions Committee, and vice chairman, Legal, Regulatory, and Global Affairs with AHLP. He's the founding managing partner of Recruiting Consulting Limited, which has executive businesses outside. He was appointed as Director of Strategy and Project Performance Alliance. He was also an executive council member of HR Rendezvous Zimbabwe, Africa, before he was elevated to board member. He acts as Assistant General Manager, Head Human Resources and Administration with Eliza DJC Autoland Limited. With a rounding applause, please can we drop our chicken, our cups of juice, and please welcome our speaker for today, Mr. Michael.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Olayemi Shola Ululeye. If I'm actually, if I did also, I didn't murder your name.
So you did not murder it.
All right, okay. So it's a great privilege to be here once again. Thanks to the BOT and the Mancom of AHRP, and also the Learning Committee for giving me this platform to, of course, discuss on our topic today. So let me quickly share my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, just say hey or just say yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I can feel you. I can feel you. All right, so please, this is going to be very interactive, and I want every one of us to actually, support me with, feedbacks, response whenever I actually demand for it. Okay, so our topic today, we are going to be discussing on how to be intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character. So I move to my next slide. So what's our area of focus for today? I think I have 1 hour, so I'll try as much possible to be very, very quick. Our area of focus will be looking at exhibiting exemplary character, models and theories responsible for the emphasis on developing and exhibiting exemplary character. What are actually your values or your principles? You being intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character. Why should we be intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character? Then what are the catalysts, of character development? And then what is the impact of developing and exhibiting exemplary character? What are the bottlenecks that we need to identify, or we need to know towards developing and exhibiting exemplary character? And we also need to recognize the present and the future demands of exemplary character. The 10th one is aligning exemplary character with family, work, and community. And then we as HR professionals, how does exemplary character aligns with us? And then the second to the last is self-coaching, which is actually a veritable tool. And of course, in AHRP, globally, we have a committee that is really in charge of coaching. And they've actually, done a lot of projects, from within. And lastly, a summary. So let's begin. So I have my quotes corner, and I'm going to be very quick about it. So I want every one of us to look at it one after the other. For Rick Warren, he mentioned that people are interested by talents, but God is impressed by character. That's for Rick Warren. People are interested by talent, but God is impressed by character. Plutarch has actually stated that character is simply habits long continued. Character is simply habits long continued. Abraham Lincoln stated that character is like a tree and reputation is like a shadow. But the shadow is what we think of most of the times, while the tree is actually the real thing. Christine stated that, okay, before I go to Christine, let me also talk about Swami. He stated that character is repeated habits, and repeated habits alone can reform character. Hans stated that it takes nothing to join the crowd, but it takes everything to stand alone. And for George, he stated that life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And for Christine, the last quote on this corner states that we should spend more time building our character than trying to build our platform. The more you build your character, it will pave more way, to actually build your platform. But instead, focus more on spending more time building your character than you trying to build your platform. So going back to the topic, being intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character, you could say that they have different colors, right? So we have the intentional on red, we have the developing on yellow, we have exhibiting on green, we have the exemplary on blue, we have the black on, the character on black. Can anybody say anything about this color? Or can anybody just say anything about this? Anybody? Please, let's try to make this more interactive. Can anybody just say anything about, maybe it's either intentional in terms of the color code? Anybody? Let's see who's going to take the bull by the horn. Okay, Mojupe, please proceed.
Okay, can I try?
Yeah, please.
I don't know. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so thank you, Mike. I think the red for intentional, I stand to be corrected, is in red because it's something that has to be worked on. So that red is popping. You know that red can be termed for danger, zone for stop. You need to stop using the traffic lights code. You need to stop and think about it. You have to be deliberate about it. That is why it's in red. So you cannot miss it. It's popping red. And then for yellow, it's developing. You know what it's when you use the traffic light. So when you are in yellow, you are waiting, you are at alert, you are looking around, you are waiting for the light to turn red. So while you are in a developing state, you are learning, taking out the learnings, you are growing, you are trying to improve yourself. And then when you go to green, just as our regular traffic light, at green light, you go. So before you go to green, you have to have stopped to think about how intentional you want to be, strategize, and then you would have been on yellow as well to develop yourself, to put in the work before you can now move. So at exhibiting, you would definitely be exhibiting all the things you've done while you're on the red zone and in the yellow zone. Let me stop there so that others can contribute to the character.
Wow. I give you kudos for that. Thank you so much, Mojupe. Most sweet. Thank you very much for that. For me not to waste our time, so let me actually thank you for trying, and you have a gift from me. So the more we try, you get more gifts. But I won't actually disclose it. Don't worry, I won't disclose it. Okay, so how can I? Okay, so for the red, that's intentional. It means phase red transmits alertness to the consciousness and state of the individual's self-awareness, having a clear sense of what one wants to achieve and taking deliberate steps towards achieving that goal through setting clear goals, identifying the specific steps needed to achieve those goals, and being mindful of one's thoughts and actions. For developing phase yellow, it transmits readiness of the individual's self-transformation, gathering momentum, resources, truths, facts, so just like the way Moswit has actually stated, mentioned to every one of us or shared with us, she's really in sync with what I'm actually presenting. And for the exhibiting, which is phase green, it transmits the individual's deliberate actions taken on what has been created or developed. And for the blue, phase blue transmits to the individual with feedback. So this is the process whereby you get feedback from recipients of your actions that is being taken. And the last, but not the least, is character. That's phase black transmits the individual's solidified repeated habits, which is now a blueprint mechanism for everyday impact. So I'm very sure we actually pick one or two things from this. So it's actually a gradual process, right from being intentional, you developing, exhibiting, and of course, showing for that exemplary character. In the process of exhibiting your character or reform character, you get feedbacks, being open-minded, you get feedbacks on how to tweak, how to improve, how to redevelop, how to, just to become a better person. So what's our first area of focus? Exhibiting exemplary character. So what does it mean to actually exhibit exemplary character? Exhibiting exemplary character involves more than just following a set of rules or adhering to a code of conduct. It requires a very deep understanding of one's own true values and principles, as well as a willingness to consistently act in accordance with them. And it is a multifaceted and ongoing process that requires a deep commitment to personal growth, integrity, and social responsibility. And I know this is a process where one has to deliberately demonstrate ethical and moral behavior, acting with integrity and excellence in all aspects of life, which involves you embodying positive values such as honesty, kindness, compassion, respect, responsibility, accountability, and even striving to make a positive impact on others and the world around. So you exhibiting exemplary character is also about maintaining a high level of consistency and integrity in one's action, even in the face of temptation or pressure to compromise one's value. And this can be particularly challenging in situations where there are conflicting interests or when it may even be easier to take shortcuts or cut corners. However, people with strong character recognizes the importance of acting with integrity and sticking to their principles, even when it is actually difficult. Lastly, what I would like to say is that people who exhibit exemplary character, they are typically self-aware and they are introspective. They take time to reflect on their own behaviors and of course, their motivations. And they are actually committed to personal growth and development. They are willing to seek out feedbacks. They are willing to they long for constructive criticism in order to improve themselves, and they take responsibility for their actions. And they are also willing to own up their own mistakes and make amends when necessary. People that exhibit exemplary character, they are role models who inspire others to be their best selves. And they are also committed to making a positive impact on the world around them. So with what I've stated so far, does this actually describe it? So you need to also look at that. Does this actually describes you as an individual? We move to the second area of focus. So there are some models and theories that were responsible for the emphasis on developing and exhibiting exemplary character. And I'll be very quick about it. We have the virtue ethics. As I'm mentioning the name, it should ring a bell. Virtue ethics is like a philosophical approach that emphasizes on the importance of developing good traits, such as honesty, kindness, and fairness. I'll move to the next one, social learning theory. It suggests that individuals learn by observing and imitating the behaviors of others. By observing positive role models who exhibit exemplary character, individuals can learn to adopt similar behaviors and values in their own lives. Just like kids, children, we as parents, we all, the way we act, the way we exude our behaviors, they watch us, they learn from that gathering, they learn from our daily interaction. So that's what social learning theory is talking about. Transformational leadership, it emphasizes the importance of leaders who exhibit exemplary character in order to inspire and motivate their followers. And of course, it gives them the ability to empower and develop their followers. Positive psychology is a scientific approach that focuses on the study of positive human experiences such as happiness, well-being, personal growth, and it emphasizes on developing positive character traits such as gratitude, resilience, optimism, in order to enhance your overall well-being. We also have other ones like moral development theory. We have emotional intelligence. We have self-determination theory. We have a concept of social capital, which is like a currency for us. We have our emotional labor. We have self-regulatory labor. In theory, we have the concept of culture competence. We have concepts of integrity. We have concepts of altruism. We have concepts of humility, and we have concepts of empathy. So these are models and theories that are actually responsible for which actually emphasizes on developing and exhibiting exemplary character. Our third area of focus, what's our third area of focus? It states that what are your values or principles? I would like every one of us in our comment box, let's just state our values. If I'm to ask you now, what are your values? Just write maybe 3 or 4. I'll be checking the chat room. I'll try to see people that actually commenting. So what are your values? What are your principles? Because if I should go back to the first slide, it states that exhibiting exemplary character involves more than just following a set of rules or adhering to a code of conduct. It requires a deep understanding of one's own true values and principles. So, do you even understand your values? Do you even know your values? Have you identified them? Do you align with your values and principles? So that is what this slide is about to address. So what is value in a very simple form? They are principles or standards of behavior. And like I mentioned previously, what are your standards? What are your principles? What are your qualities? If I should talk to maybe my global president now, at least from my interaction, I understand his principles to a level. I know that, okay, these are his qualities, and these are his standards based on our relationship in terms of work, in terms of family, in terms of business and the likes. Or if I should talk about my chairman, or I should talk about my team members, what are actually their standards? What are their principles? What are their quality? But for me to even digress a little bit, let's look at marketing, what marketing is actually saying about value. It says that value should always be defined through the eyes of the customer, which implies that we are an entity or a product or a corporation that social interacts with others with substance of values as a means of exchange with different level of impact, either positively or negatively. So we are social beings, and there is no way the more you are exchanging values, you'll be getting feedback. So what's the quality of your value? What is the impact of your value? Whatever that you're exchanging as value, the third party, or let me say the customer, they will definitely see that through their eyes. So there are 4 types of value under marketing, which states that they have functional value, monetary value, social value, psychological value. Another functional value, it states, okay, this type of value is what an offer does, is the solution an offer provides to the customer. You could see that I actually painted solution red. Does your value give solutions? Does it actually give solution? Under monetary value, this is where the function of the price paid is relative to an offering, to offerings perceived in terms of their worth. And this value invites a trade-off between other values and monetary costs. Your value, can people feel the worth of your values, of your principles, your standards? Can they feel the worth? Social value, the extent to which owning a product or engaging in a service allows the customer to connect with others. As I am, can I recommend so person? Because so person is a product, is a corporation, is an entity. Based on my communication, based on my interaction with this person, Can I actually connect this person freely? Can I actually, do I have that enthusiasm to always do things with this person? Or can I even recommend this person to my, maybe my community, maybe my partners and the likes? And then for social value, the extent to which a product allows customers to express themselves or feel better. When you share value, when you give value, does it make people feel better? Does it bring the best out of them? So these are the things I actually, called from marketing, but let's go back to our discussion. So there are many positive values and principles that people can embody in order to exhibit exemplary character. And we know them very well. Self-awareness, I'm very sure. Thank you for everybody that has actually commented, on the chat box. Yeah, self-awareness, open-mindedness, self-discipline, humility, integrity, authenticity, honesty, positivity, responsibility, empowerment. I don't have time to actually, mention them, but of course there are things we can look up on the internet. Creativity, empathy, resilience, flexibility, respect, generosity, gratitude, courage, trustworthiness, fairness. So these are values. These are actually values, but it depends on we as individuals, the ones we've actually developed over time, the ones we've even recognized, the ones we've even aligned with, okay? Our next slide, that's our fourth area of focus. You being intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character. So what do we have here? Developing and exhibiting exemplary character is an important aspect of your personal growth and success in life, which is a long journey and not a destination. It requires ongoing learning, growth, and reflection. It involves intentionally cultivating positive qualities such as honesty, integrity, kindness, empathy, and responsibility, so as to become a better version of oneself and inspire others to do the same. So we need to know that character is not something that we are born with, but it's something that we can and should cultivate through consistent efforts and practice. So how can we intentionally develop and exhibit this exemplary character? And I have them on the right side, the right corner. Number one, you need to cultivate a sense of purpose. You need to cultivate a sense of purpose. You have to identify your purpose in life. You have to work towards it. And of course, this will actually give you clear understanding of what you want to achieve, why it matters to you, and you having a sense of purpose can give you direction and motivation to pursue your goals. Secondly, you being intentional, or how to be intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character. You have to practice self-awareness or self-reflection or self-introspection. You have to practice this by paying attention to your thoughts, your feelings, and behaviors. This means being honest with yourself about your strengths, your weaknesses, and seeking feedback from others. I mean, constructive feedback from others. People that will be honest with you. Self-awareness can help you make better decisions, communicate more effectively, and build positive relationships. You can ask yourself if they even align with your values and goals. And of course, you also have to identify areas where you need to improve, where you need to make plans to work, on them. 3, you need to set clear values and goals. You need to define your goals and what you stand for. You need to identify the qualities and the values that you want to embody and the goals you want to achieve. This will help you focus on what matters the most and guides your action and decision. Also, you need to practice self-care. You must make self-care a priority in your life. Like, you need to take out time to recharge, to relax, to engage, to engage in activities that brings you joy and fulfillment. It also means setting boundaries and saying no when needed. I don't know when, so okay, when needed. The next one talks about you learning from your failures. This part is also very key when it comes to you being intentional about developing and exhibiting your exemplary character. You must learn from your failures. You have to embrace failure as an opportunity to learn and grow. You have to use your failures as feedback to improve your performance and strategies. You have to remember that failures are a natural part of your learning process, and this does not define your worth or ability. You must also cultivate growth mindsets. You must adopt a growth mindset and embrace challenges, feedback, learning opportunities. Believe that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, practice, and that failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. You have to be accountable. You have to practice self-discipline. You must even learn from diverse perspectives. You have to be open to learning, learn from others, be willing to listen to others' opinion, beliefs without judgment. So all these things are very, very key for you. You being intentional about developing and exhibiting your exemplary character. You must practice active listening. You have to be resilient. You must act with integrity. You have to be a role model. You have to show empathy and kindness. And the last on the list is you should foster positive relationships. You have to build and maintain positive relationships with others. Even you expressing gratitude and showing appreciation goes a long way. And lastly, you must always seek feedback. Ask for feedback from others on how you can improve and grow. Be open to constructive criticism and use it to make positive changes. What's the fifth area of focus? It states that why should we be intentional? Why should we be intentional about developing and exhibiting exemplary character? It is important for your personal professional success. If you relationship-wise, community-wise, even at work, professionally, it is very important, very, very important for you. So you should, the reason why you should be intentional is because it has a long way to impact your personal and professional success. When you show empathy, when you act with integrity, when you build trust and respect with others, it helps you to advance your career. It helps you to build a strong reputation. It even helps you to increase your influence and impact. It can even help you to navigate challenges, setbacks with greater resilience and adaptability. Also, it helps you to lead a fulfilling life by building positive relationships, achieving goals, expressing a sense of purpose and meaning. It also helps you to develop a positive self-image, increase your self-esteem, and improve your overall well-being. It also helps you to create a positive impact on those around you. It helps you to become a better leader. When you lead with integrity, empathy, and respect, you will definitely have that platform to inspire others to do the same. And this can help you to create a positive organizational culture that promotes trust, collaboration, and innovation. It also helps you to develop important life skills like practicing self-discipline, perseverance, resilience. All these things can help you to achieve your goals and overcome obstacles, like practicing empathy, active listening, conflict resolution. All these things can help you to communicate effectively, navigating challenging situations with greater ease. It even helps you to promote your own growth and development. By reflecting on your values, your beliefs, your behaviors, you can identify areas for improvements and make positive changes in your life. And by setting high standards for yourself and consistently striving to meet them, you will definitely build confidence, resilience, and a strong sense of self-worth. It helps you to promote a sense of fulfillment and happiness in life. It helps you to leave a positive legacy. It helps you to leave a positive legacy. When you live your life with purpose, integrity, and compassion, you can inspire others to do the same, and this can help you to create a ripple effect of positive change that can continue long after you are gone. Someone reached out to me, I think that should be last month. The person was trying to connect with me on LinkedIn, and the person told me, Mr. Michael, I have heard so much about you. In fact, somebody recommended you on Glassdoor. I said, me, Glassdoor? Really? Who? I said, okay, please share the link with me. And, I went to the link and I found my name on Glassdoor way back when I was working with Philips Consulting Group. I've left Philips since 2019, and somebody still recommended me in 2023. That is part of the benefits of you exhibiting exemplary character. The person recommended me. I was the only one. Mr. Michael is the best HR manager. I don't even know the person. So I don't even know the person. So all these things, their legacy can help you to leave a positive legacy. There's someone that reached out to me. I've helped the person while I was when I started my recruitment. When I started recruitment, I helped someone to get, a job, whatsoever then. And, I advised this person because this person was way older than me. But I advised the person, do this, do this, do that. The person scaled through, got the job. And from what the person learned, the person left that job and started his own business in that line of business. And, I just got his recommendation on LinkedIn, like, Mr. Michael, thank you so much for that opportunity then. Thank you for your advice. Thank you for impacting me, for encouraging me. Now I'm out of the country. However, with this and this that you did way back then, I think maybe 2016 or 17, way back then, I am so, so thankful, for what you've done. So all these things, they leave, positive legacies, and we don't know how far this thing can actually go. Our sixth area of focus is actually the catalyst of character development. The catalyst of character development. And I have them here. I'll be very, very quick about it. The first one, catalyst of character development, which helps individuals to become more self-aware, empathic, resilient, ethical, are what I have below. The first one is positive role models. Exposure to positive role models who exhibit exemplary character can be a powerful catalyst for character development. Seeing others demonstrate positive character traits and behavior can inspire individuals to strive for similar qualities in themselves. Adversity to be a catalyst. Facing adversity can also be a catalyst for character development. When you see challenges, it helps you to build, that's the qualities such as resilience, perseverance, all these things, they have their own path, their own role. Education too plays its own role. Education and learning opportunities can also promote character development through formal and informal learning. Individuals can gain knowledge, skills that contribute to positive character traits such as empathy, compassion, and critical thinking. Then intentional practice. Intentional practice of positive character traits and behavior can also serve as a catalyst for character development, which involves intentionality and consistently practicing behaviors such as honesty, integrity, kindness, respect for others. Then the next one is reflection and self-awareness. I mentioned this previously. Let me go to the next one. Positive feedback and reinforcement. These are catalysts, personal values and beliefs. Community service and volunteerism. You see, one of the reasons, let me say, I am so happy, to be part of the AHRP family, because the sole foundation of AHRP is volunteerism. And it has helped me as as an individual to be more better than, when I just joined AHRP. It has really contributed, to my character. It has contributed to my person, as an individual. It has even contributed, to, the way I do things now, the way I modify things and whatever. It has helped me. Because why? Volunteerism is a catalyst for character development. Community service, volunteerism, they play a very huge role. So if they are calling you, we have a so department, come and volunteer, this, please take that opportunity. And do you know what? The skills, the exposure you will have, no one will be able to take it away from you. So these activities provide individuals with opportunities to practice positive character traits, such as compassion, sense of social responsibilities. They even gain deep understanding of the needs and experiences of others. They even develop skills. They develop other things, that can build, their character. Then personal growth and development, these are catalysts of character development. The next one is impact. So let's say you've actually you're not intentional, you have taken steps, for you already understand, okay, this is how I need to be intentional about me developing, my character and so. You also need to have a better understanding on how long or how far all this character that you exhibit, how far they go. The impact of you developing and exhibiting exemplary character. Developing and exhibiting exemplary character can have a positive impact on individuals, on communities, and society. Cultivating positive character traits and behaviors can lead to greater personal fulfillment and well-being. Individuals who exhibit exemplary character are more likely to have positive relationships, experience greater level of happiness and life satisfaction, and they even achieve personal and professional success. Please, can you mute? Can you mute? Then also, please, somebody is actually, okay. Then at the community level, exhibiting exemplary character can contribute to the development of a more positive and supportive social environment. Individuals who exhibit positive character traits and behavior are more likely to contribute to the well-being of the communities through volunteerism, all these our CSR, civic engagements, and other forms of community involvement. This can lead to greater social cohesion, a sense of collective responsibility, and the development of stronger and more resilient communities. And on the broader societal level, exhibiting exemplary character can contribute to the development of a more just and equitable society. So people that exhibit positive character traits and behaviors are more likely to promote social justice, challenge inequality, and of course advocate for the rights of marginalized and vulnerable population. And this can lead to the development of a more inclusive and equitable social policy. It also contributes to development of sense of purpose and meaning. The time is fast spent. It's part of the impacts of developing and exhibiting your exemplary character. It helps you it promotes emotional intelligence. It promotes culture of empathy and compassion, growth mindset, culture of creativity and innovation, ethical and moral behavior, culture of trust and accountability, culture of civility and respect. And then I move to the next one, the eighth area of focus. Bottlenecks towards developing and exhibiting exemplary character. So here are some potential bottlenecks that can prevent us as individuals from developing and exhibiting exemplary character. The first one is lack of role models. If I should ask every one of us, do we have a role model? Do we have maybe a role model? Do we have a coach that we look up to? Do we have a mentor? You know, all these things, they have a long way to go. They really have a long way to go. So do you have role models? But for this bottleneck section, lack of role model plays, let me just break it down. Lack of role model. Role models play a crucial role in shaping an individual's character. If a person does not have positive role models to emulate, it can be difficult to develop good character traits. Negative environment too is part of the bottlenecks. Growing up in a negative and toxic environment can impact an individual's character development. It can even make it hard for them to learn positive behaviors and develop healthy habits. Lack of education to contribute. Poor upbringing and parenting. The quality of our upbringing and parenting, they have significant impact on an individual's character development. Individuals who grow up in environments where they are not taught positive values and behaviors, they may struggle to develop exemplary character traits. Low emotional intelligence, lack of self-awareness, lack of self-discipline, lack of empathy. All these things are bottlenecks. Personal trauma, mental health issues, lack of accountability, negative self-talk. Do you used to self-talk yourself negatively? Resistance to change. They will tell you, okay, or maybe your coach is guiding you, or maybe your mentor or whatever, and then they ask you, yeah, do it this way, do that, and you feel, no, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, I'm okay. You being resistant to change, and then limited exposure to diverse experiences. All these things are bottlenecks that can prevent our development and exhibiting of exemplary character. So the present and future demands of exemplary character. Exemplary character, of course, is a set of qualities and traits that is widely valued and admired in individuals, such as honesty, integrity, empathy, respect, responsibility, and courage. The demands for exemplary character are both present and future, and few are mentioned below. For present, ethical leadership. In today's society, there is a great demand for leaders who demonstrate exemplary character and ethical behavior. People want leaders who are honest, who are trustworthy, who can, emulate with others, who can, show empathy, who are fair. Then personal responsibility. Individuals are expected to take personal responsibility for their actions and decisions. They are expected to be accountable for their mistakes and to take steps to correct them. Then respect for diversity. With the increasing diversity in our society, people are expected to respect and appreciate differences in races, ethnicity, gender, religion, and sexual orientation. Then empathy and compassion. People are increasingly looking for individuals who can demonstrate empathy and compassion towards others. This includes the ability to understand and respond to the feelings and needs of others, and to act in a way that is kind and caring. Cultural competence. With the increasing diversity in society, there is a need for individuals to have cultural competence, which means having an understanding and appreciation of different cultures, beliefs, and values. Then resilience. In today's rapidly changing world, individuals are expected to be resilient and adaptable. This includes the ability to bounce back from setbacks, challenges, and to learn from mistakes. So what are the future demands of you having exemplary character? Global citizenship. With the world becoming more interconnected, there is a growing need for individuals who can function effectively in the global context. This includes the ability to work collaboratively with people from different cultures, and backgrounds. Digital responsibility, as technology becomes more integrated into our lives, there is a need for individuals who can use it responsibly and ethically. This includes protecting personal information, avoiding cyberbullying, and being mindful of the impact of social media on others. You see the way social media, the way the impact of what social media is actually doing on others. Environmental consciousness, with the growing threat of climate change, there is a need for individuals who are environmentally conscious and they take steps, to reduce their carbon footprints. Creativity and innovation. With the rise of automation and AI, artificial intelligence, there is a growing need for individuals who can think creatively and innovate. This includes the ability to come up with new ideas, solve complex problems, and think outside the box. Lifelong learning. With the pace of change accelerating, individuals need to be lifelong learners, continually updating their skills and knowledge to stay relevant and competitive. Civic engagement. With the increasing complexity of society issues, there is a need for individuals to be engaged and active citizens. This includes being informed about public policing, voting, participating in the community activities. The 10th area of focus, aligning exemplary character with family, work, and community. Exemplary character can have a positive impact on different areas of our life, including family, work, and community. And here are some ways in which exemplary character can be aligned with these areas. For family, I'll put it that way, exemplary character can contribute to stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling relationships with family members. This includes demonstrating empathy, kindness, and compassion, as well as being honest, trustworthy, and dependable. By living according to our values and principles, we can also serve as positive role models for our children and for other family members, For work, exemplary character can contribute to a positive and productive work environment, as well as career success. This includes demonstrating integrity, accountability, and professionalism, as well as being respectful and collaborative with colleagues. By living according to our values and principles at work, we can also contribute to the ethical and social responsibility of our organization. Community, for the community, exemplary character can contribute to a stronger and more connected community. This includes demonstrating civic engagement, social responsibility, and cultural competence, as well as being inclusive and respectful of others' differences. By living according to our values and principles in our communities, we can also contribute to the well-being and prosperity of society as a whole. The 11th area of focus as HR professionals, and I think this will speak to us as HR professionals globally. How does exemplary character align with us? As HR professionals, aligning with the principles of exemplary character is crucial in fulfilling our responsibilities to the organizations that we serve, as well as to the employees that we support. Here are some ways in which HR professionals can align with exemplary character. First, demonstrating integrity. HR professionals are often responsible for upholding the ethical and legal standards of the organization. Demonstrating integrity in our interactions with employees, stakeholders, and the community is crucial in building trust and maintaining a positive reputation for the organization. 2, promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion. HR professionals can play a critical role in creating a workplace culture that is respectful and inclusive of employees from diverse backgrounds. This includes being aware of and addressing issues of bias and discrimination, protecting equal opportunities for all employees, and creating policies and practices that support diversity and inclusion. Also, advocating for employee well-being. HR professionals have a responsibility to support the well-being of employees by promoting work-life balance, providing resources and support for mental and physical health, and creating a culture of respect and support. The fourth one is building relationships. HR professionals are often the primary point of contact for employees, and building positive relationships with them is crucial in creating positive workplace culture. This involves being approachable, responsive, and empathetic, as well as demonstrating strong communication skills and conflict resolution skills. Continuous learning and improvement. HR professionals should be committed to ongoing learning and improvement, both for their own personal and professional development, and to support the growth and development of the employees and the organization as a whole. This involves being open to feedback and criticism, seeking out opportunities for learning and growth, and being willing to adapt and change as needed. Fostering ethical leadership, emphasizing accountability, let me check the other ones. Demonstrating empathy and compassion, contributing to the community, emphasizing transparency, encouraging innovation, supporting sustainability, and on the last one, promoting employee engagement. Like, let me read for the last one. HR professionals can help to create a culture of engagement and commitment by fostering a sense of purpose and belonging among employees. This includes promoting open communication, providing opportunities for growth and development, and recognizing and rewarding employees for their contributions. So these are ways, as HR professional, exemplary character aligns with us. All these things that we do, of course, there are values that we give, you know. These are things that we bring to the table. These are things that we showcase as HR leaders, as HR professionals, wherever we are. These are things that, of course, are expected of us when it comes to, you know, showing forth exemplary character. The 12th area of focus is we are talk about self-coaching. Self-coaching. Self-coaching is a process of self-reflection and self-awareness that can help individuals to identify their strengths and weaknesses, set goals, and develop strategies for personal and professional growth. Self-coaching can be a powerful tool for aligning with the principles of exemplary character because it allows individuals to take ownership of their own development and take deliberate steps towards achieving their goals. Self-coaching involves a number of key steps, such as self-awareness. That's you developing self-awareness is a critical first step in self-coaching. This involves taking time to reflect on your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, and goals, and identifying areas where you want to grow and develop. Goal setting. Setting goals is an important part of self-coaching because it helps you to provide direction and focus. And of course, your goals should be smart and should align with your personal and professional aspirations. Developing strategies. Once you have identified your goals, it is important to develop strategies for achieving them. This may involve developing new skills, seeking out learning opportunities, or making changes to your behavior or mindsets. The last I have here is accountability. Holding yourself accountable is an important part of self-coaching because it helps to ensure that you stay on track towards achieving your goals. This may involve tracking your progress, seeking feedback from others, or enlisting support of a mentor or a coach. We have many coaches here in AHRP. If you need guidance, you need support, please reach out to the coaching committee. They are always available, to be of help, to be of support. So we taking ownership of our own development and intentionally working towards our goals. This self-coaching will help us to cultivate the qualities and behaviors associated with exemplary character and achieve a personal and professional aspiration. My time is up, so let me wrap up. So summary. Facts you need to know about exemplary character. Exemplary character is not something you're born with. It is something that can be developed and cultivated over time through deliberate practice and effort. 2, exemplary character is not just about being good. It's about living according to your agreed set of values and principles that guides your behavior and decision making. Exemplary character is not a fixed state. It is something that can be improved upon and refined throughout your life. Exemplary character is not just about individual traits. It is also about the way you interact with others and the impact you have on the world around you. Exemplary character is not just about you, it's not just about being perfect. It's about acknowledging your flaws and shortcomings and striving to be better every day. Exemplary character is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It can manifest differently in different people and cultures and may be influenced by factors such as upbringing, education, and life experiences. Exemplary character can have a positive impact not only on individuals, but also on organizations and society as a whole.
Sorry, everyone. I think
and have a higher level of developing exemplary character, ongoing willingness to learn from feedback and criticism. It also involves cultivating habits and behaviors that align with your values and goals, and holding yourself accountable for your actions and decisions. Exemplary character is not just a personal quality, it's also a social responsibility. Individuals with exemplary character have a duty to use their influence and resources to make a positive difference in the world and advocate for justice, fairness, and equality. Lastly, exemplary character is not a guarantee of success or happiness, but it can help individuals navigate challenges and setbacks with resilience and grace. It can also contribute to a sense of purpose and fulfillment by aligning your actions with your values and making a positive impact to the world. And thank you very much for listening. I know it's been a long ride, but it's a privilege to share my few points on how to be intentional and understanding what it means to you, for us, developing and exhibiting exemplary character. My name is Michael Lassa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Michael, for the brief and elaborate teaching. It's been great. It's a whole lot of information that we have taken in a short while. Please, I'd just like to ask if anyone has questions to ask, please.
Or contribution, if
Or
you have
contributions, please.
contribution, this contribution, I'm open. No, I don't know it all, but wow. Yeah, positive role, yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, saying no when needed. Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes, doing unto others. Okay, Mr. Larry, what you? Yes, please proceed, Mr. Larry, what you?
Mr. Rayod, you can take over the meeting, please. My able Oga.
Please let's unmute
Okay, so
please let's unmute him. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
you.
Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
yes, we can.
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Okay, so I just want to ask, because of the topic we are treating today, we are talking about character. Why is it that as HR professionals, even though we talked this evening and everybody's like, oh, we don't have questions, we don't have comment. Why is it that we have, most of the time, we have found one thing? Because when we discuss issues on our platform, even on LinkedIn, we see a lot of character flaws. I want to know, what's the basis for that? I don't know whether Michael can share an insight into that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Olarewaju, for the question. One of the reasons why that happens is the first one I would like to talk about is self-discipline. Self-discipline. And I mentioned it as part of the bottlenecks. I know self-discipline is a very vital, is very vital, is an important trait, for us exhibiting exemplary character. But, without self-discipline, it's going to make it difficult for an individual to consistently make positive choices and exhibit good behavior. 2, consistency. So yeah, if you lack self-discipline, also consistency. You see situations whereby people, or let me say HR colleagues, you see them maybe at the first stage, the energy is there, they will be exhibiting what is expected. Then along the line, they will start fading out. It could be maybe due to workload, it may be due to maybe personal issues, emotional issues, or whatever, or maybe it's even deliberate. But if you're not consistent, and that's why I mentioned that, say you exhibiting exemplary character, you have to be deliberate. You have to be intentional about it. If you're not intentional about it, then you've lost it already. The moment you're not intentional, there will not be consistency. It's a supply chain value, and they feed one another. So you have to be consistent about it. Also, it could be work pressure, because I won't say that I'm a saint, but from my past experience, I've seen that work pressure too could lead to that, whereby maybe it could be the work environment, it could be the culture of the environment, the impact of the environment on such professionals, and maybe they've tried their best, and of course, it's not even helping them to achieve that. So there are many things that actually contributes to most of we HR, then even our attitude, and then for some people, I don't care attitude. They are not open to change mindsets. They are not open to, experience. They are not ready to, just to change. They have that fixed mindset. This is the way I do my things. This is the way I do my things. Or this is the way I should do my things. And this is the way I should do my things. All those things have impacts. It will definitely have impacts on you exhibiting exemplary character. I also mentioned some things under bottlenecks. Lack of accountability. When you are not accountable, maybe for your actions, for projects, for job expectations, for milestones that you need to achieve, once you lack accountability, it has a way of impacting you not taking responsibility for improving your character. So all these things have a way of impacting, or it has a way of defaulting, let me put it that way, or not even exhibiting the right set of character that is expected of us, even with that we are the custodian of the policies, the procedures, the expectation, all those things, all these things, all these things I've just mentioned, they have a way of, not allowing us to, show forth our exemplary character. So those are the things I can quickly mention at the moment. But there's a lot that actually leads to this. But one thing I know about is that it's personal. It is personal. It is we individually, we know those shortcomings. And if we are not ready to face them, we are not ready to challenge them, we are not ready to change them, it will keep on occurring. And over time, once your habits, they are consistent in that manner, it forms your character. Until you change your habits, your day-to-day habits, until you change them, you reform them, you make them better, you take accountability, you are open to change. And of course, you want to see results, you are result-oriented, you want to ensure that all what is expected of you, in showing forth exemplary character, you do that, then it is until that time that you can now see changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think I'm fine with that. Maybe I should just something resonate with me. I could see that Emo typed a lot of things there. What actually resonates with what you said is, and which also Emo also mentioned about, is intentionality. And thank God what we are doing today, we talked about be intentional. So it takes us as HR professionals to be intentional that we want to be exemplary in our character wherever we find ourselves, wherever we at work, even off work. So the key word is that word that we have. It is personal, but it is actually, we have to be very intentional about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Emo. I can see your comments. I can see your okay.
Hello, Larry.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the DRIVE framework and then invite Adeyemi Ajayi, who is the first vice chair of the Global Advisory Council, to also say a few things around the topic. Like Michael had talked about intentionality and accountability systems. For me, one of the things about character development is being humble to take correction. Being able to take feedback, being able to take corrective feedback and improve. There's a concept in psychology, Michael Alasan knows it, it's called the Johari window. Every one of us has blind spots, all right? And whether you like it or not, feedback is one area that can help you improve your blind spots. Feedback is something that can help you enhance your character. So I want Adeyemi Ajayi to talk a little bit about how character has helped him in his career trajectory and how it has helped him secure jobs that were not advertised. I know a bit of his story, but I'd like him to talk about that. Adeyemi Ajayi, good evening. You're welcome. Can you say a few things around today's topic on character, and then we'll take it up from there?
Oh, do we need to unmute him? Let me see.
I think we need to, because his hand is still up.
Okay, he should be able to now. I've asked him to unmute.
Or let's just tell Tony to make him a host.
All
Okay,
right,
yes.
so I'm on mute now. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, talking about living a life of exemplary character and how this has also helped me in my career journey. One very critical thing that could be an hindrance is value disalignment. Value disalignment. A lot of us don't really have personal values that drives our goals and objectives, even our career trajectory. Now, when do we have the courage to refuse to take a position or a job that does not align, where the values of the organization do not align with our own personal values? In the first instance, do you have personal values? And are you intentional about your personal values? Now, this speaks to your character. Values, your values mold your character. And that's one thing that has helped me over my career trajectory. I've been able to understand what organization I would like to work in, and at what point I'm able to take that decision to say, no, I can no longer continue along this because certain things happening do not align with my personal values. So a lot of times we go into taking up job opportunities just for other reasons, financial, career, without looking at whether those people who are the aim of leadership of such organization, if they actually live the values of that organization, and if they're intentional about creating the right kind of culture that ensures that anyone working in that organization are able to align their values, okay, to drive the culture of that organization. For example, I've had to work in an organization where at some point there was a need for me to be asked to doctor certain things in order to favor what the company was trying to achieve at that point in time. However, because I take my values very seriously, and my values over the years are shaping my character, and I've remained consistent at every point in time when I've been called out to be able to defend what I believe in. At the point, it was difficult because it was a very, very visible organization with a good brand name and all of that. However, I had to take the decision to move. It was quite shocking that, why will you move from such a big organization to a smaller organization and all of that? But I was very clear that, hey, I stand for something, and the space in which I play as a human resource professional, and for people who I mentor or people who look, towards me, okay, for the right kind of behavior and attitude at every point in time, I knew that it would be a very challenging situation for me to start explaining why I am in such an organization when such things are happening there. And at such very tough moment, I needed to live my values. For instance, when we read the code of conduct of our professional association, as the regulator of HR practice in Nigeria, that's CIPM now, there is the fifth element of that particular code of conduct, which says that you are ready to take personal decisions, which include resignation, when there is misalignment between your values and that of the situation that you need to deal with. It's a tough call, right? Because some of us will say, how many opportunities are out there? But what has always worked out is that you find out that when you take such decisions, at some point, those organizations, they will come back to look for you. Because by the time they realize that they are losing, good talents, and they are also not able to attract the right kind of people that will take the organization to the next level, they will begin to look inward, and then they begin to see those character flaws that has probably led to some of the things, the kind of brand visibility or brand outlook that they have. So for me, I would say that we must be intentional about having strong core values and be very more intentional about living our values, and of course, ensuring that our values aligns with our character at any point in time. And more importantly, let us have principles, and let's be known by our principles. When people know you for what you stand for, they will respect you for it. Sometimes it could hurt you, but you always come back as a gain, because people, whenever they need somebody who exemplifies such great character traits and with very strong values and is intentional about such values, they will always look towards you. I think I would like to stop there this evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM, our first vice chairman of the Global Advisory Council. So my final question goes back to Michael Alasa. And Michael, thank you so much. This has been an intriguing topic. I've received a lot of personal messages in the chats that people want the slides. Even on the leadership team, Mrs. Adegoke had said that it was a very introspective session. So Michael, let's go to nitty-gritty. And let's talk about the impact of environment and experiences on character, particularly at the early stage. A lot of us here are parents and we have children. How can we get it right in that area to ensure that we are molding the right character for our children when it comes to environment and experience? Michael, what are your thoughts?
All right. Thank you, GP, for that question. There's a saying that goes this way: you cannot give what you have. And for parenting, you personally, we as parents, let me put it that way, we as parents, we must have worked on ourselves first. We must have enlightened ourselves. We must have understood the expectation of what it means to shaping children, to mold children, and the goals, the plans that we want our children to fit in, or let me say the expectation of how they should be. What are the things you've actually captured, you've visualized, you've captured for them in the future? How do you want them to be? And then what are the things you need to put in, the energy, the resources that you need to put in? All those things needs to be captured first. You need to understand that, okay, these are the things that are expected of us as parents. Then also, when planning ahead, you must also put into consideration your failures. What are the anticipated failures that will not make you achieve most of these set goals that you've actually put in place to ensure that they must be accomplished? Or it could be work, it could be the environment, it could be maybe personal goals or whatever. But once you are able to identify the things that are going to, that will not help you to achieve those things, then you now take intentional efforts to do what? To overcome those things and then start implementing. So for example, your children, you are a role model. So even between husband and wives, the way you communication is key, because that's the bedrock. Communication can occur in any way. It can occur through verbal, physical gesture, all those things, they play a vital role. Then, okay, so let me say number one, communication. Number two, you creating time. You creating time, to follow up with your children, to bond with your children. Bonding with your children is very key, but not just bonding alone, being able to instill, the right values, being able to show forth, what is expected of them. Like, for example, I remember that there was a meeting we had earlier in January, and Mr. Olarinwaju Williams came with his daughters. He had to, fine, it's not easy for him to, blend work time and everything, but his children are at home, hey, okay, children, let's go. So that bonding is very key. And what is he trying to, showcase to the children? Is trying to open their mind, because during their during that child states that they are faced, it is very easy for them to absorb a lot of information, information that you are displaying to these children at their early stage. So information is very key. Time bonding is very key. Then empathy. Empathy too plays a long way. You must empathize with them. You must understand, okay, like your son or your daughter may come from school and say, oh, mommy, daddy, somebody beat me, somebody do this, or maybe I'm having issues with my teacher. You should be able to understand with them and then give them, the right set of principles or values that they should adopt on addressing that issue. So there's a lot that we parents can do. Like I've mentioned about communication is very key. Intentional, you being deliberate about it in terms of instilling the right core values, the right values that they should learn from childhood. You could tell them, okay, you know what, I'll train you in terms of business skills. Every week, I'll give you 1,000 naira. You'll be spending maybe 200 naira per day for your upkeep. That alone is a value. You're trying to train that child in terms of financial capability. So it's really wide. There's a lot that we can do, but the bedrock of all these things is that you must be intentional. You must make time. It is something that you have to take it, you have to do it, like it is a do or die affair. You just have to cover that time until when they are now fully formed, whereby the Bible says that from childhood you form them and you expose them to a lot of things so that when they grow up, it's something that will be part of them. So there's a lot that we can do. I know GP, you have a lot that you also want to say, but there's a lot that we can do in terms of breeding and grooming our children, as parents.
Thank you so much, Michael. Let me hand the session back over to Olarinwaju William. Larry, over to you.
I think Larry and Adeyemi, they are raising their hands.
Okay, thank you very much, Emo. I don't know if I have time. I just want to share a short story with us that I heard some years ago. And it just talks. It can never go away, okay? I attended a naming ceremony, and the preacher was saying, it was a Yoruba setting, but I'll try to translate. Now, he said, someone went to a house or a home, and he said to the children, the child was very young, maybe about between 2 and 3 years. He just started picking words. And he asked, where's your daddy? Okay. And Jai said, in a tone of somebody that was just speaking. So the person was like, why will you call your father Olori? I don't know anybody who understands Yoruba what Olori Buruku means. And I said, what about your mommy? The son mentioned another horrible name. Apparently, upon when the person probed, he now discovered that both the father and the mother, that's how they address each other. And unconsciously, because the child was just speaking words, thought those are the names of the father and the mother. Okay, so to buttress what Michael has just answered, that communication is not even that, it could be non-verbal. They are watching us. Even if we spend millions of naira or dollars on their education, there are aspects they are watching us and they will pick them up. So if you're a parent that you scream on the wife, you will see that they will start to scream on each other if you have one more than two. So I'm just reinforcing what he said with that story, that they will pick some things from us, either we talk to them about it or not. Thank you. So, okay, you can have the floor, Mr. Ajayi.
Okay, thank you very much, William. So I just wanted to also say to us, how many of us are the real role models to our children? If you ask your child who the child's role model is, how many of us will have our children mention us, either the father or the mother, as their role model? Are there things that our children would like to emulate about us? And speaking to this, how many of us are actually always there to let our children know that, okay, these are my character traits, which I also love you to imbibe and take after me in this area, and also follow my footsteps? One of the things that I try to do deliberately is that in my living room, I decided to create a hall of fame, where I try to display various awards. And each time my son comes back from school, I always tell him that at any point in time when you come back, this set of awards will have increased. And I'm usually very deliberate about it, because I'm trying to create something in his mind in terms of how to always be outstanding in whatever he chooses to do, without necessarily saying a word about it. Sometimes I go to his school when there are events or things like that. I deliberately participate and I deliberately ensure that I win awards or win accolades there. Just trying to let him, see something, trying to, role model him to fine, this is the kind of person that I want you to be, without necessarily putting the pressure. So those are kind of some of the things that we need to do deliberately. We have to be very practical about these things. It's not just about, saying it to our children. It's not about giving them books to read, allowing them to go and watch movies or things that say things to them, but ourselves being deliberate about role modeling our children, creating the kind of atmosphere that we want our children to imbibe and to live in. Just like William just gave that story just now. How do we speak to one another in the home as parents? Even the moment of anger, how do we, conduct ourselves, the father and the mother, so that when our children go out and they see other people, are they able to say, oh no, I don't want to? There are some children that you find out that even when they're out there, when people are saying certain things, they will just block their ears with their hands, with their fingers. You'll be able to pick that, oh, their parents have been able to let them know that there are certain words that you shouldn't listen to. And whenever people are saying such words around you, please block your ears so that it doesn't go into your mind. So these are some of the things that we need to do to be very deliberate about these things. These things are not just things that we just say. We just have to do those things such that when our children, when they see these things, their character can be formed and can be molded along those character traits. Sometimes we talk about, okay, having devotions in the house and all of those things. How about when you finish having devotion, the next moment you are speaking foul languages to one another? Does that say something to the children in the negative? So these are some of the things that we need to just understand and be intentional and deliberate about. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Modokwe, very briefly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM. Thank you, everyone who has spoken. And I just couldn't help but speak on this when Mike asked the questions about parenting and how we are role models. Recently, I took a test and I failed. I told my children in that day when I was when I was dropping them in school that today is my road test and just put it in mind and pray for mommy. So when they came, I'd cried and my face was so lit. So the moment they came in, the first one said, "Mommy, your face is red. What's happening?" And I said, "Come inside." And I told them, Mommy failed her road test. And the little one that is just 6 years old, she was 6 in February, said, "Mommy, but that's okay. You always encourage us that we can always try again." And, she repeating my words to them in time past kind of gave me comfort. And I so even when I think these children are not listening, even when I think that I'm just saying it. Maybe they are so young to comprehend. It was surprising for me to hear them be the one to comfort. And she said, when are you able to do your test again? I told her the date that in 2 weeks' time. I said, okay, I will set a reminder. I will ask Alexa to set a reminder. All you just need to practice. I kid you not, and I am not exaggerating this. This is my 6-year-old daughter saying this. I will set alarm for you. I will set reminder for you. All you need to do is practice again, and then you will pass. And so I need us to know that as parents, we do not only tell them the good things. Let them know that it's okay sometimes to do something and miss it. I'm not saying we should encourage failure, but let them know as well that if you do it once and you don't get it right, don't beat yourself to it. I know of my nephew that refused to come back home because he failed, because of the fear of what will happen at home. And I learned it from my older sibling that we need to let these people know that sometimes it can happen. And, I just thought to mention that as well as we are trying to be role model for them, it is necessary to be deliberate about communicating the positive and the sometimes negative things that they could encounter in life. And that's the same way as HR professionals. We should embrace the fact that sometimes it can be itchy, it can be rocky, and then we don't go into depression because of it. We bounce back again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Modokwe. That's so spot on. That's so spot on.
We have a question from our YouTube audience. We have 2 questions. I don't know if Olayemi picked that. All right, one of the question is maybe not related, but let me mention, how can a HR professional promote employee engagement activities in the workplace if the MD is not in support or sees it as a waste of money, time, and sometimes money? That's one of the questions. And then the other one is, in an organization where there is a lot of character decadence, how do we chart change? Thank you, from our YouTube audience.
Okay, because of our time, the first question, if you recall what Adeyemi Ajayi said earlier, that when there is a character mixed fit, so if you are in an organization where the leadership feels, okay, employee engagement is not, so I don't think you have to kill yourself if you have actually explained it and table what the benefit, and the leadership is saying no. I don't feel you have to kill yourself there as an HR professional. Maybe it's time. Remember, like he rightly said, we always read, when we read that CIPM stuff, we always say that if of which resignation may be one. So if you feel that organization is not best for you, it's not best for your character, for what you promote, it's not out of place to call it an exit. And what was the second thing again? The second question.
All right, the first question was, how can I HR?
Yes,
I think it's similar. The other one had also been answered. In an organization where there is a lot of character decadence, how do we chart change?
When you say character decadence, we like you always say, everything rises and falls on leadership. So if it's from the leadership, then that means you are not supposed to be there, because I always say that if the leadership is playing lip service to what you want an HR to enforce, I don't think it will work out for me also as a person. And maybe that's why you see me that I don't stay in places for too long. If I look at, okay, what you're doing, it does not align with my own personal policies and values, I move on. So it's as simple as that. It's not, because you see, when we work in organizations, as they have expectation of us, we also have expectation of them. So if there is a misfit, we can't actually, there's a limit to what we can do as HR professionals, because we are also an employee, we are also employees. So for me, I think it's the same. If leadership is saying, oh, if leadership is dishonest and you want me to enforce honesty in employee, it cannot happen. So that's just it for me. I don't want us to actually waste time on that. In the absence of no other questions, I want to actually say a very big thank you to our brother, our colleague, Michael Alasa, for that wonderful presentation. And I also want to say thank you to everyone who jumped on the call. The links have been shared. The link for, if you want to, there's a link for attendance. And if you want a certificate, if you are a member, there's a link for you to pay 2,000 naira. If you're not a member, there's a link for you to pay 4,000 naira. if you're a member of CIPM, you understand that if you want to do an upgrade or you want to renew your HR practicing license, you will need these units. And with all these our certificates, as I'm talking to you, I am ready for the next for the next renewal, even though it's not even this year, with the number of units I've accumulated. Because once you have the certificate, just go there, you plug everything there onto the portal there, and you will see your unit that you have gotten. So and this is coming on a platter of gold, 2,000 naira, 4,000 naira. So that is that. Let me use this opportunity also to mention to us, as many as a member of CIPM, the Lagos conference, the 20th edition, is happening in next month. And there is a grace between today and I think the next 3 working days for a discount, 10% discount. So if you can jump on it, it is the better for you, so that you save from fund. And so to tap into that grace. That's that. Next week, I want to say, beg us that please don't miss this for anything. We're going to be talking about leading a global workforce in the new world of work. Now, we've seen situations where people live in Nigeria and they work abroad, or people live abroad, they work here. So it's become the workplace environment has become global. So how do we lead this kind of workforce? And that means people from all walks of life. So we'll be discussing that. And the person that is leading us is someone I know personally, and I can bet you that is going to be value for your time. Please join us. Okay, let me see. There's a chat on the. Let me just see before we round up. Okay, you say we must learn the art of working away from horrible organization where leadership is not ready to cultivate and live the right culture. Exactly what I just said. So we must learn that. That's just it. We can't just because at the end of the day, if we don't do, we rubbish ourselves. And I don't expect anyone to let that happen to him or her. So that is just it. So I want to say a very big thank you once again to everybody. And for our Muslims, so that we just want to call off the call now because of our Muslim professional that will be breaking their fast. Thank you very much for your time. Emo, I wouldn't know whether there's anything you want to pass across.
Just to thank Michael Alasa for the session, and also to thank Adeyemi Ajayi, FCIPM, our first Vice Chairman, Global Advisory Council. He has been an awesome leader. For those of you who are not aware, Adeyemi Ajayi is also one of the pioneer 40 members of AHRP, and has always been solidly behind what we do in AHRP. We'd like to thank him for his support and thank him for everything that he has done for us in AHRP. So those will be my closing remarks, Larry.
All right, Sam. I also want to thank Olayemi for holding forth as our moderator today. She did a very good job. So thank you, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of the evening. And we say from AHRP, we say happy start to everyone. Bye.
Remember to submit your attendance before you leave.
Yes, please.
It has been dropped.
If you haven't, please do that, please.